Hello, my sisters and brothers. Eddie Marcus here again. Look, this is a kind of different situation I'm in ahead. John, this noise that you hear is the fan. It's going to be a little disturbing, but I want to say this to you. You are not alone. From the greatest, most wonderful thing that you can imagine to the depth of the worst that you could possibly imagine. For each thought that falls within that category, there are several others that stick right by the side. So you are not alone. Never think that you are alone. However, even those that are familiar with the will of life and give their life for that life, even though they appear to be singly standing there, they are not alone, because the Spirit is present. It just doesn't have the appropriate amount of bodies to legitimize the absence of others. So what I'm saying is this: every last one of us, human beings on the face of the earth, right now we are equal to one another. None is better, worse than another. We all got our best, and we all got our worst. And we're here in the mix. We call this a melting pot or soup. And it's one of those soups that you just cannot get together, no matter how hard we try. But we must try, because that's the purpose. That's the whole point. To give it all you got, because the solution is there. But to get you started, I would like to share with you the most beautiful of life, that a creator, all you've heard me say it 1,000 times, I want to see if I can say it quick, I don't know how to hold you, created the earth and all that exists for you. And who is you? 8 billion of you or more. That whatever you can imagine, the possibility of its existence exists amongst you. That's a gift from the power we can't see. And my friends, that the peace that we all want, the prosperity, the freedom, the joy, the fulfillment of our dreams is a built-in. Every human being on the earth wants that. That means their needs, their wants, and their desires are being met. That's heavenly. None suffer for anything: food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, transportation, anything. If your mind can imagine it. God has given us, amongst us, the gifts for its manifestation. And periodically, there's something new that comes on the scene, such as, for instance, the light bulb, the telegraph, the telephone, the TV, the camera, the telephone, constantly coming. We didn't have it before, and no man was smart and genius to know, to do. But they brought a message with them for the purpose for which it exists. But the peace that I speak of does not exist. And you are not alone. The prosperity doesn't exist. But why don't these things exist? Because the Spirit is invisible. And it must live in individuals. And individuals must be the physical manifestation of that Spirit. And where that Spirit is absent, the non-Spirit, which is man, will take its place. And man, in its ignorance, in its stupidity, It is deceit to itself, convinces itself that he's God. And he causes the human race to believe that all things that exist belong to those whose names are on it. He caused the human race to think that certain ones are superior to others, that they deserve more than others. They even give corporations names, and then they call them humans. They make trillionaires and billionaires and multi-billionaires, and they make poverty, crime, and violence. They, in order to do this, lie, they cheat, they steal, they kill, all of these things. And their product is that the whole human race is in chains. They are bound, they are enslaved to the system that says there is no God but the one that you can see, and that will kill you if you don't acknowledge it. But the people of God, they laugh at that and they ignore them, because to say to kill them is to free them from this hell, to go to a place where lovers should be, where lovers conjugate. And all of the hell stays right here until it grows up. And a person of God knows that and is not afraid to die. In other words, he's just waiting for the moment. That sounds to you crazy, because you give anything to live forever. You don't want to die for nothing. You just want to live. I don't care how sick you get, you want to live. I don't care how, all the things that you can think of, all the things that you know that you've seen that the aged have to go through, no matter what they are, you want to live. You want to live. And with a desire to live like that, you are nothing but a slave. I want so dearly for the human race to wake up and live in paradise here. It won't happen. But I know that everyone individually is responsible for themselves in this. We are listening to something. We are listening to someone. And this is where they have brought us. And is this where we are supposed to be? And if it's not, then perhaps you should listen to something that you can't see. Try it sometimes. I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.